This is magic. I'm so glad this is a family community event. Then Gisela is going to share a few words, our resident teacher. And then it'll be my turn again, sharing a little bit about how we're doing, the team financially, and some of the projects that have been happening here in the Old Courthouse. Then I'm going to invite Marco and Saida, and those who joined in early, Marco and Saida are the ones that were chatting in Dutch. And Saida is our administrative assistant, and both Marco and Saida are project manager of a new project we're about to launch called Sept Wisdom Live, which we really wanted to share with you. So they'll talk to you about that. And then our spiritual program coordinator, Kamlo, will then share a little bit about the education program and what he's been working on. And then we'll do the close. The session is scheduled to be an hour, but again, because this is the first time we're doing this, we're going to try not to not run over. And anyway, we'll see. So now I'm going to I'm going to stop sharing. And Robin, I'm going to, actually, Robin, when you're ready, if you can unmute.
Sorry. I'm a bit overwhelmed about doing a formal motivation, so instead I thought I'd start with a story, a little story, and it's called The Story of the Three Bees. And the first bee is for botany. In my usual fashion, I hadn't really sorted much out, so I've actually written this down in the last hour. And the story starts that not so long ago, I was travelling on the top deck of a London bus, looking out at the city from that elevated height. I spied a slim ledge far above the street on the side of a brick wall, and there a wind-blown seed had somehow found some meagre sustenance and had rooted and grown into a substantial flowering bush, incongruously out of place halfway between the ground and the sky. And it reminded me of the very first time I caught sight of the Old Courthouse. And in our gathering today, both Mike and David would remember this. And I think it was 1993 when Lama Zopa Rinpoche came to London and actually saw the place for the very first time. And we'd had a gathering in what was the poorhouse round the back of the old courthouse. And he had said that he'd done divinations, and to secure this place for the London Centre, we should have to actually try our best to secure it straight away, or it may take a long time before another appropriate place came up for an option. And I took a photo of Rinpoche, which regrettably I couldn't find to show you today, but it was of him standing in front, on the steps in front of the main door of Jamyang, which was entirely blocked by the second bee, which it was a huge profusion of Buddleia, whose beautiful pendant flowers and rich nectar are the reason why it's called the butterfly bush. The enormous Buddleia had rooted around the entrance, but never set forth inside. And the first four letters of that plant, bud, B-U-D-D, just needed an H and an A to make a home inside. Buddha. And it took another 2 years before the wind-blown seeds of potential Buddha nature of our community members could settle into the conducive conditions that were to become the ground for our individual spiritual growth. And it's worth recalling how each of us have had our unique journey to find Jamyang, to stumble upon it, to hear from someone by chance or by some kind intervention. And looking through the photos today from all those years ago, I was overwhelmed by all the kind lamas, geshes, and teachers have come here to give us the nectar for our butterfly minds, to really nourish us in the most profound way. Lama Yeshe and his vision, when he blessed the start of the London Centre, was that it should maintain the pure Buddha Dharma lineage of peerless instruction and genuinely serve the community. And this November, we will have been here for 25 years, trying our best to do that wonderful thing for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. That was very sweet. Thank you. I would like to invite Geshe-la to share a few words before Geshe-la, you speak. I just want to take this opportunity because all of you here who have come tonight are the core community. Not everyone is here, of course, but you care about Jamyang enough that you showed up and you're giving up your time. And so together with the community, I want to not miss this opportunity to just rejoice at the good fortune that Jamyang has in its new resident teacher. Maybe not so new anymore, it's been a year. But nonetheless, Jamyang in general in London has had unbelievable good fortune in having really high quality, knowledgeable resident teacher. And in fact, behind me, are the 3 resident teachers, Geshe Wangchen here, Geshe Tashi, and now Geshe Namdak. Both so profoundly knowledgeable, but also heavy in qualities. I know Geshe Namdak doesn't want me to say that, but I just want to express tremendous gratitude for Geshe Namdak for you being here. And so with that, over to you, Geshe-la.
Yeah, so welcome everybody to this kind of new feature we have on Zoom with the Jamyang community. So I'm very happy to be a part of Jamyang. I mean, already as Sven Fabienne said, for about a year now, a little bit over a year. And yeah, I don't possess any qualities, so don't believe what Sven Fabienne told you just now. But first of all, of course, I would like to thank all the people from Jamyang who helped out in the past, and in particular, Gen Wangchen and Gen Tashihira. And of course, Lama Zopa Rinpoche and Lama Yeshe's vast visions, right? Thanks to them, this incredible community is being built. And also thanks to people like Robin and other people of the past who helped out to create this incredible place of Jamyang Center. And yeah, I didn't come here by following a few bees or something like that. I came here because there was one email from Lama Zopa Rinpoche indicating that there might be some benefit if I go and stay and hang out in Jamyang after having, you know, be around in a monastery for about 20 years. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And those who have met me before, then they know that basically after staying for 20 years, a little bit over 20 years actually, in a monastic environment, in a very remote area in South India, to come to a city like London is quite different, right? But thanks to the blessing of the gurus and the karma and the incredible team here in Jamyang, I was already within a week or two completely at home, which I never experienced for the last 20 years in Europe. So it's quite an uncommon feeling, so to say. And that feeling is still only getting stronger. So it's a bit scary for me to that I'm going to stay here for some time, probably. And yeah, because committing to a few programs, as Kamdo will brief you about more, and also Saida and Marco will give you briefings about that. So there's a lot of incredible plans. And why are those plans there? Because there's such an incredible community and such an incredible team. So because of that, there's an unbelievable good energy, and that builds up as a family, you know. And that's very easy to push and to walk and to make a few extra hours now and then. And also thanks to Venbe Fabienne, incredible hard work. She makes a lot of hours every day. She takes, you know, some time off sometimes, but incredible job she's doing. And all the other members of the team, they help out in a similar way. And that brings us to, yeah, as the programs will be introduced by Kamlo and Saida and Fabienne, but it's amazing things that come up in a new, yeah, we can start already this month, next month, right? So it's very amazing to see, and even more amazing is that people are interested in the many aspects of Buddhism, right? There's a lot of interest, as Lama Yeshe said. The main thing, as you know, Robin already indicated, that Lama Yeshe wants to have the preservance of the Dharma, the pure preservance of the Dharma, which we reflect now in the basic program, which is incredible amount of interest there. And not only just interest, out of the survey we saw that the majority of the people who signed up, they interested not in a certificate or whatsoever. They're interested in enhancing their knowledge and practice. It is very inspiring and extremely inspiring to see, you know. So, and then also Lama Yeshe said, and also the visions of His Holiness, to not only present the in-depth Buddhist studies in a pure form, but also do something on a secular basis or universal basis, and that can be related with science, right? So that's the vast vision Lama Yeshe already had, and Lama His Holiness puts a lot of emphasis in that direction, and we also moving in that direction in Jamyang. So it's kind of so many very exciting things are going to happen in the very, very near future. And it only happens because of the interest from your side, right? And not only the interest from your side, but also people put time and effort into these projects. So that all comes together as one big family, and then we can produce these incredible aspects of the Buddhist doctrine, the in-depth studies, introduction to Buddhism, as well as universal related subjects with science or with society. Yeah, so it's amazing kind of platforms we're building at the moment. And yeah, I'm very excited about this whole future events, and I think there will be great benefit for on the different levels of society. So I would like to thank all the people involved, and yeah, they will brief you more about it, and they have all for you a perfect presentation to give you the introduction to these projects. Okay, so thank you very much for all your effort and being here together. Of course, it's nicer to meet in person, but yeah, now here, friend Fabienne is sitting there, Margot Saïd is sitting there. It's kind of, you know, it's still different, yeah, but maybe somewhere next year we can meet again in the physical form, and then we can see, you know, we can meet again as we used to do in the past. So yeah, thank you for joining, and then I give the words to the others who give you the briefing about our incredible future plans. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Yeah, so thank you, Geshe-la. As Geshe-la mentioned, it's true, we've got Gisela in the temple on his computer. I'm in the library. And Marco and Saida, those of you who know Jamyang really well will probably recognize their backdrop. They're sitting next door in the cafe with the painting of Tara behind them. Because this afternoon, their internet connection wasn't sufficient, so they jumped into an Uber and joined us from the Old Courthouse. So all of us have been experiencing this in different ways. These are very unusual times indeed. So I wanted to share a little bit about, how we're doing, but like I mentioned before, we're going to jump to Marco and Saida soon, because I want you to hear from them and Kamlo directly. One of the things I mentioned when we sent the invitation to this event, like I get so inspired when I get to listen to those who are holding the project on our team talk about their project, and I wanted all of you to experience that rather than just me speaking, sharing all of it, but just to the removal of obstacle on certain projects that are happening well.
You froze for a few seconds there, so we didn't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Go back to when you were saying for us to share.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not okay.
Can we rewind?
Don't know where. Yeah, I know. I'm like, where did I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is I said, it doesn't matter. So we've expanded the team with wonderful volunteers like Marco and Saida, and there's one other team member that's joined. It's a new treasurer and a member of the board of trustees. His name is Kevel. He couldn't be here tonight, so he very kindly recorded a little video so that you guys could meet Kevel. So I'm going to screen share again, and I hope the computer cooperates, and we're going to play the little video of Kevel. And actually, I remember what you told me, Marco, is to make sure that share computer sound. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so here is Kevel, message to the community.
Hi everybody, my name is Kevel and I'm the new treasurer at Jamyang, just very recently joined, and I'm sorry for not being able to be there in person, but I thought I'd just record a small video to say hello and introduce myself. So I have become treasurer recently. I joined in responding to an email that went out earlier in the year, and I have some long-standing connection with. I have a connection with sort of Gelug Dharma. I have a lot of Gelugpa teachers from when I was 17. I'm now 33, and still trying to do this Buddhism thing. And I live in North London, so not too close to Jamyang, but I have been visiting on and off over the last 9 years since I moved to London for the odd event, empowerment, to see Geshe, and really feel very honoured to be part of Jamyang. Always valued it, and really looking forward to what it might become in a new phase with Geshe Namdak and Ven Fabienne here. And yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody who is involved at the moment for everything that you're doing. I really look forward to meeting everybody at some point, and yeah, that's me. So yeah, hopefully get to catch up in a more personal way with different people over the coming years. And thank you, and thank you again for all your contributions and everything that you're doing. Bye-bye.
You have to appreciate technology. It's pretty amazing that we can do these things. And so Keval joined the Board of Trustees in the summer. I'm going to share a little bit about a few more projects and show you photos of what's been happening in the Old Courthouse. But I think in summary, I think one thing to share, because all of you who are here care deeply about Jamyang. And of course, many organizations, including Jamyang, have been affected in a number of different ways. And financially, of course. So I want to reassure the community that we're doing okay. We're adapting, and the government has helped out in a number of different ways. The furlough scheme has really helped out, and we've made the most of it. And we still have a few of our team members on furlough. The government gave a grant to make up for the loss of the shutdown of the B&B and venue hire side aspects of the community, which help support Jamyang financially. So we're doing okay. I think we can count ourselves really fortunate. And of course, the community, are a number of community members have joined and become friends, and that has helped. We have launched a few campaigns, and the response has been really incredible. And so I'm going to share a little bit about progress on some of these campaigns. So I'm going to screen share again and show you. We're going to see. Here's Keval again. Let me think how. Here, oh, sorry. Here we go. Here we are. Nope. Oh, here we are. So one of the projects that we launched was in May. Those of you who took part in the Sakadawa event remembers Geshe Namdak came out of retreat. He did a 2-month retreat at Jamyang. And we had a project already of getting a statue of a protector, and during Geshe-la's retreat, he had this idea of expanding the project to have the whole lineage, statues of the whole lineage. So he came out of retreat and shared his vision, and we thought that was a wonderful project, and we wanted to do that, especially at this time where we felt for the center to do something to remove obstacles and for merit. So we launched the campaign in May. We raised the fund. Many of you participated in this project. So collectively, we raised £10,000. Jackie, who's on this call, worked behind the scene with hundreds of WhatsApp texts with Geshe Sherab in Nepal, and we were able to source these wonderful statues, and I'm going to show you the photos. What you're seeing here in the middle, it's a very approximate sketch of what it will look like. It will be far more splendid than this sketch, but it gives you a sense of the various statue being in this altar that Miguel, the photo on the top right, is Miguel, who's a skilled craftsman and has been working tirelessly since, I think, early August. Every day comes all day to build this altar. And this here, under the photo of Miguel, is a sketch that he has done to where he thinks of every single detail. And on the right is a photo of Geshe-la as he was measuring how it was all going to work and fit in place. And so here are the statues. They are splendid beyond anything we had imagined. And whilst the photos look wonderful, I can tell you that in face-to-face, they're even more powerful than that. And, you know, we really, really look forward for you being able to come in the temple and see them in situ. And by the time we reopen, I think they will, the altar, you know, may be in place and you'll be able to see them. So you see Lama Tsongkhapa and his heart sons, Atisha here, Shakyamuni Buddha, and there, somehow it cropped the photo. You can't see it, but over there is Padmasambhava. So absolutely, you know, spectacular. We had another campaign that we launched, a smaller campaign in scope, but nonetheless very important, which is the audio and visual. And so this is little screenshots that we did for Geshe-la to show you we raised the funds. And again, the community, you rallied immediately. We raised the fund, we're able to do it. And now we have this fantastic camera. And actually, you know, the camera is being used on Geshe-la at the moment. But this is what it looked like a few months ago. And this is what it's looking like now. So, thank you to you all for participating. The question has been on many people's minds of when we're going to reopen. And I think we shared in a little video that Alison Murdoch and I recorded a little while back, that we created a committee, we call it the Restart Committee, that specifically focuses on all the risk assessments of reopening the building to different user groups, because of course many different people use the Old Courthouse for school visits, for all kinds of different purposes. For now, of course, the courthouse is closed. We are being cautious. We're taking our time. There's about 6 people who live in the Old Courthouse, so we're particularly mindful of the safety of the residents as well. And of course, as you all know, we're heading into a phase that seems to be, you know, getting tighter rather than more open. So we don't yet have a reopening date. And we're reassessing it on a monthly basis. And in the meantime, we're making really good use of the space with, you know, construction work and so forth, so that when we do reopen, we'll be fully ready for you. And you'll see a building that's really been well cared for and with a few improvements, hopefully. So with that, I'm going to, I just want to open it up before we segue to Marco and Saida. I know we're short on time, but I just want to open it up to if people have 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll pass it on to Marco and Saida. And if there are no questions, that's absolutely fine. Each Kamlo and Marco and Saida will also open up for questions. Yeah, we haven't told you. How do you tell us if you have a question? Yes, you can raise your blue hand, or you can tell us in the chat. Okay. Lars.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, I live in Denmark, and I've been using Zoom in order to participate with you for the past 6 months, and I really just enjoy it. What is the future projects with Zoom in order for me to stay in contact with you? Can you tell me something?
Great question, Lars. Yes, we're absolutely, you know, this Zoom thing, like it or not, you know, is not going away. And certainly for as long as we are closed, all of our activities will be online, of course. But when we reopen, we will keep on doing online activities. And so we're exploring, what does it mean to be a Dharma center that is both hybrid of face-to-face and online? And I think Kamlo may touch on that as well, but it's very much kind of an area of discussion at the moment. So we will definitely do much more online activity than, you know, than we've done in the past when it was just face-to-face. And I think that is one of the positive, actually, consequences of this whole lockdown. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. Stuart, I see you have a question. I go ahead and unmute yourself.
It's actually the same as Lars, really. I mean, I live in Nottingham, and you know, when I hear you talking about opening, you've never closed, as far as I'm concerned. You're more open at the moment than you've ever been. I mean, I've been to Jamyang in London, and I will come again, you know, if it's possible. But I just really hope that when you reopen in the flesh, that you carry on doing this, because it's really important to me, as I'm sure it is to other people. So thank you for all you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Stuart. Good. So I will now pass on to Marco and Saida, and I will spotlight you. And before I do, I want to take the opportunity to thank Marco and Saida. You will be blown away. I think just as Geshe Namdak and I are, by the work that Marco and Saida have done in such a short amount of time. So.
Well, thank you, Venerable Fabian. Thank you, Geshe, and everyone else. It's a pleasure to be here tonight and to see so many faces. Many we know already, and also many we don't. So our slot is just to introduce you to this new project that we have started, which is called Science and Wisdom Live. And the subtitle is Where Science Meets Contemplative Wisdom. And my name is Saida Venderleeuw.
My name is Marco Golnaghi. Thank you so much. It's great to see you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. So we are the project managers for this new initiative. And the mission of this project is to bring meditation practitioners from the great contemplative traditions in conversation with scientists to address society's biggest challenges and to bridge the gap between science and contemplative traditions.
And our motivation is to actually try to create new tools that integrate scientific research as well as contemplative wisdom, so that we can better face today's challenges, and also to promote individual and collective well-being through that.
So we are organizing talks and dialogues to explore the middle ground between science and contemplative traditions. And these dialogues are based on the ideas of societal wisdom, which is the deliberate use of human knowledge and experience to cultivate well-being, which is one of the foundations of all contemplative practices, and that has been recently investigated also by scientific researchers.
So each dialogue in the end will zoom in, you could say, onto a specific theme. So the sub-themes that might come up in the future, where both science and contemplative traditions intersect, are, for example, the ethics of artificial intelligence, gender equality, climate change, and the benefits of mindfulness and meditation for mental health. Of course, this last topic is something most of you will be familiar with.
And in terms of distribution, we are going to have live dialogues. The first one is going to be on Zoom, and it will be broadcasted live on probably on YouTube and maybe Facebook Live. And in addition to that, we're going to have monthly talks. And both talks and dialogues will be made available as podcasts and videos, together with interviews and blogs.
So that's quite a lot. But first of all, what we will start doing is producing podcasts. Now, for some of the older generation, that might sound very strange, but podcasts have, gotten a lot of popularity lately in the past decade or so. And basically, it's just a place where you can go online on the internet and you can listen to all sorts of different things. In this case, you can listen to Geshe-la going into discussion with scientists and other contemplative practitioners.
So this is how our podcast logo looks, and this is a preview of how the podcast intro sounds. I think I forgot to do what Fabienne remembered to do, so I have to stop my screen share for a moment.
Right.
To enable computer sound. And this is the podcast intro.
Welcome to Science and Wisdom Live, where scientists and meditators meet.
So you can already start signing up for the podcast on your favorite podcast players. We are on Spotify and Stitcher, and we'll soon be on Apple and Google Podcast, and we're on Buzzsprout and much more. More info on this later.
First of all, we'd like to let you know that our first dialogue is already in the making and it's coming up soon. So our first dialogue is about destructive emotions and distorted perceptions. And basically what it will do is that Geshe-la will go into dialogue, into conversation with Dr. Elena Antonova, who is a lecturer in neuroscience here at King's College in London and also Brunel University. And also Father Lawrence Freeman will join them in that discussion. Father Lawrence is a Benedictine monk, and he's also quite a known spokesperson for the Christian community. So this first dialogue will happen on the 11th of November, and so that's pretty soon. And by the end of this month, so in approximately 10 days, you'll be able to sign up on Eventbrite for this first event.
And you'll also be able to see our website, which is going to be to go live soon. And for now, we will let you have a sneak preview of the website. Here it is. So this is the main page where you will find more information about the project. And here's the last podcast episode. You can listen to it from here and subscribe to various podcast players. And you will also be able to see past and upcoming events here. And you will find more information about the motivation, the mission, the scope, and the themes. And yes, you'll also be able to subscribe to our newsletter. And also, you can support us through a membership scheme.
Yes, so this is the tab where you can become a member, and it's very easy. It will be very easy. And basically you just can sign up like this, and that means that you can support us as a startup project. So that's another thing that you will be able to do soon. Not yet, but maybe end of the week.
So let's go back to the PowerPoint. Right, so this is a really exciting project. We are so happy to be helping to make this possible. And we would really like to hear your thoughts and get some input from you, especially concerning these 3 points. So themes, what would you like to hear about? Speakers, who would you like to see as a participant? And also, yeah, especially speakers maybe from a minority background to make this series more inclusive. And also in terms of audience, we'd really like to appeal to a young and a diverse public. So how to make these dialogues, these events more inclusive. And so I think we are just going to let anyone who has something to say give their contribution, and you're very welcome to use the chat to write any thoughts or ideas that you have. And yes, so over to you. If you maybe something comes up later, we'll also follow up with an email afterwards.
So it's the same procedure. You can raise your blue hand or use the chat box.
Thank you, Marco and Saida. In the chat box, I see there was a question from David Garcia asking about Mind and Life Institute and whether this initiative had any connection with that. Would you like to answer that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you for the question. Actually, yes, this is a child initiative of both Jamyang Buddhist Centre and Mind and Life.
So both Mind and Life Europe and also Mind and Life World are involved. Yeah.
I see Fabio, you have a question. If you unmute yourself, go ahead, Fabio.
Yeah, hi. So Marco and Said, I think this is a great initiative to bring science and mindfulness and meditation together. And I think it's a great initiative because this is where a lot of people actually struggle to combine, you know, their own kind of scientific, you know, beliefs with, you know, the whole kind of topic of mindfulness and motivation and philosophy to an extent. I was actually reflecting upon a couple of things that might be useful, which I'm very happy to email you about. One is to perhaps connect with the charity Mind in London, who obviously do a tremendous amount of work on, you know, on a whole array of areas connected to this. And also, I used to work at the Royal Society, which is the Academy of Science in the UK, and which has the most eminent scientists, you know, in all sorts of areas of expertise. And I think it might be worth, you know, they've got neuroscientists that are fellows of, obviously, of the Royal Society. They've got people that work in a variety of areas, which I think could be very useful to kind of bring on board. And I think they might welcome the idea to connect, you know, some of their experts with this initiative. I'm still in touch with some people there, so I'm very happy perhaps to email you separately to sort of see how we can combine these.
That would be absolutely great. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
I mean, that's amazing. That's actually one of our questions to you all. That, you know, if you have any connections, anyone in your network that you might think of in this, you know, for this new project, we're very open to hear about it. So please just get in touch, and you can reach us via email. We can write our email just a little bit later in the chat box for you to reach us. So thanks, Fabio. That's very helpful. And I think it's important to mention that, of course, you know, this project came about thanks to Venerable Fabian and Geshe-la, and especially because Geshe-la himself is, you know, a scholar, and definitely is very much willing and keen to connect also with scientists. And so that's where this project started. And it's, of course, this more interfaith. It's more also, you know, we're integrating other religions. It's not only Buddhist. Yeah, that's where we started, really.
I see there is a question in the chat from Joanne. Thank you, Joanne, for the question. Yes, I think this is a very interesting point, that this series is not meant only for people who already follow a certain tradition. This is open to people from every religious tradition and beyond religious traditions. It's really about the common ground, what every one of us as human beings can benefit from in terms of contemplative practices, meditation, mindfulness. And it's not specifically focused on a Buddhist practice or a specific Buddhist idea, but certainly all these themes will be part of the dialogues and the talks.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Marco and Saida. And we're going to follow up this session with an email to all of you. And the email will include the contact for the project, the URL links of the various things that Marco and Saida shared. And we had an email to the community today, actually, where we're recruiting a couple of volunteers for Science and Wisdom Live as well. So we'll include that as well in the email. So we'll keep the conversation going like that. Thank you.
Yeah, so we've got, actually, if we can spare one more minute, we've got a last slide with a call to action. So things that you can do to support this project.
Yes, so just to recapitulate, you know, what you can do soon, as soon as the website is live, you can subscribe to our newsletter. Please do. You can go to the social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you're using, and you can find us there already right now. You can subscribe to your favorite podcast player if you are into podcasts. And of course, we would appreciate any members if you would like to become a member. And don't forget, the first dialogue is coming up on November 11th. So, and those 2 volunteering positions, they are open right now. They're for online support. And they're actually very exciting positions because it's also meant to be positions that will grow with us. So there will be more opportunities to in the future for that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. I will now pass on to Kamlo. I mean, it's amazing, and I have to apologize because we're trying to keep on time, but as you can see, we've been working on it, and we have so much to share. So Kamlo equally has a lot to share on the education program. So I'm going to pass on to Kamlo, and as I mentioned before, Kamlo is our spiritual program coordinator. He's been in the position for, I think, 4 months. I mean, what we've done in the time that Kamlo has been in his new position is quite incredible. So Kamlo, go ahead when you're ready.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Kamlo. I know many of you already. We've been in correspondence, so it's nice to see your faces. I'm going to take my jacket off because I'm very hot and we're among friends, so I can afford to be a bit casual. Yeah, so I know you guys, a lot of you guys, through the programming that we've been running, and so I just wanted to share a little bit with what we've been working on. But the first thing many of you will know about is Basic Program, and that has probably been the meatiest, chunkiest project that we have been working on over the past few months. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Here we go. Because I know from your faces and from your names that that a lot of you are successful applicants to Basic Program. So I mean, you know, words really can't express how overwhelmed we've been with the enthusiasm and the energy and the motivation for people to study this program. We had 261 applications in total, which far exceeded, I think, anybody's expectations. And you know, and so far 161 have been enrolled, and we expect that number to go up. But what's been really incredible is that, you know, as Venerable Fabienne was saying, one of the benefits or one of the positive outcomes of these lockdown conditions is that you know, it's influenced us to move into a virtual arena, and that's made the teachings accessible to a lot more people. So you see here from the student geography that we've got people who have applied from all over the world, and nearly half of the applicants come from outside of the UK, which is absolutely incredible. And, you know, just over the past few weeks, it's really started to feel like one big global Basic Program family has started to emerge, and people are really, really raring to go and can't wait to start the course. And you know, you can see that we've got people all the way, you know, I mean, pretty much everywhere apart from Antarctica, I think. We've got Australia, Austria, Russia, New Zealand, Zimbabwe. I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing. And so here we have our team. We've got Geshe Namdak as the teacher, of course, and the coordinating team, which is Jackie Yip, is our Basic Program coordinator. We've got Sylvia, who is going to be our e-learning coordinator and is going to be making sure that all of the materials are available online and that you're able to access the videos of the recordings and all of that good stuff, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. And then there's me, you know, who probably won't be doing much actually, except for supporting Basic Program coordinator and e-learning coordinator. When we started receiving all of these applications, we realized that we would need a few extra teaching assistants to help out with the review sessions. And we didn't know what the responses would be, but, you know, just like the applications for Basic Program, they were, you know, they exceeded our expectations, and we got a lot of people interested in helping as teaching assistants. So you can see all of the names here, people from all around the world, people from the Jamyang community who have taught and facilitated classes at Jamyang before, people who have recently graduated from Basic Program from the last time that it was run and have just done their 3-month retreat at the end. So, you know, it's absolutely amazing. Oh, I should have said, by the way, for people that don't know, Basic Program is an in-depth 5-year course on Buddhist philosophy and practice. It's kind of the woods from the trees thing. I've been in this, I've been in it for so long now that I just assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Okay, there's going to be glitches tonight, guys. Bear with me, okay? So yeah, when we started launching the basic program, and we realized that you know, it's going to have to be an online course because of the lockdown, we really wanted to make this a you know, just a really good online experience for people. And so we put the time and effort and investment into setting up a e-learning platform, which all of the students will have access to. And I'll just give you a little demo, hopefully. So I need to do a new share. I remember how to do this. Hopefully I do. Where's it gone? Here we go. Here we go. Did that work? Did that work? You see that, guys? Oh, good. First time. So here we have the e-learning platform, and this is the page for the first subject of the basic program, which is Stages of the Path. There's a little introductory page here. Geshe provided some preparatory material for students to look over before the actual teaching weekend start. And then we've got the lessons that correspond to each individual teaching weekend here. And if I click on one, then at the moment there is a recording of the orientation session that we had with the students before. I think it was, when did we have that? A couple of weekends ago? Okay, yes, I think that's right. And below we've got the Zoom links for the teaching weekends. We've got a little bit of extra preparation. And up here we also have some material. So we've got the root texts and some supplementary readings as well. So one of the great things about this is that, and the reason why I wanted to show you guys today is because this is basically a template that we're going to be using for future courses and programs, so that when you sign up for example, Discovering Buddhism, or you know, any other courses that we're putting on. I was going to give something away there. When you sign up for Discovering Buddhism or other courses that we put on, you'll be able to use this platform to access the materials and have a little bit more of an interactive experience. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that when you start using it. I'm going to go back to my presentation. Here, okay. Yeah. So another thing that we've been working on recently is diversity and inclusion. And the most recent, well, not most recent, the next thing that's coming up to do with diversity and inclusion is Black History Month. You know, to me personally, actually, this is like a really important topic. You know, I'm mixed race. My mum is Black. She's from Jamaican origin. And, you know, the idea for this came about as, you know, as we started having conversations about the violence that was happening in America, that probably all of you know about, because it couldn't really be avoided. And we didn't want, as a community, to be silent on the issue, and we wanted to make a dedicated effort to addressing it. So we decided to do a series of events for Black History Month, and this screen that you're seeing right now is just some of the promotional material that Fabiana put together for us. So if you follow us on Facebook, you may have seen it, or if you signed up to the newsletter, you've probably noticed this as well. Just to say that this is also a joint, this is a collaborative effort with Jamyang Leeds and Land of Joy as well, because we really wanted to make this particular initiative, but diversity and inclusion as a topic in general, a national conversation. So here are some screenshots of the new events calendar, specifically the Black History Month events. You'll see here the ones that Jamyang hosting is Race and Social Justice, a Buddhist perspective with Professor Jan Willis. We've got Black and Buddhist, Professor Jan Willis in conversation, which will be a more personal interview. And then we're going to have a special medicine Buddha Puja, and the dedications at the end will be to the victims of racial violence. And we are going, that's in line with the Say Their Names initiatives campaign, which is an initiative to keep alive the individual identities of the people that have been killed by the police in America. Because very often what happens is you see the numbers go up and then the people start to lose their identity in the media. So that's what we're doing. As we were, and I'm going to try and keep this brief, sorry, and I'm rambling on a little bit, but I'll try and keep it brief. As we were having these discussions, we were approached by somebody called Rahina Harihol, who is an amazing person. She's an activist and very dedicated Buddhist practitioner. And she has founded a new organization called Buddhists Across Traditions, which is specifically aimed at bringing Buddhist organizations, regardless of tradition or lineage, together in service of racial justice and social justice. And she's been organizing some really interesting events, and she's been bringing together diverse teachers from many different sanghas together in conversation, actually really inspiring stuff. And so we decided to partner for Black History Month, and so we are promoting her events as well, where she'll be doing more of the same, bringing different voices, different Black teachers from Sangha around the world to discuss issues of racial and social justice. Really exciting stuff, and quite unique and groundbreaking, actually, I think, for Buddhist communities to be working together on this kind of project. So I'm very excited about it myself, and I hope you are too. So, we didn't want it to be just a one-off thing, the Black History Month, and we didn't want it to be a flash in the pan initiative. We wanted to maintain the conversation and actually affect substantial and meaningful change. So some other initiatives that we have coming up is a session on inclusion within Dharma communities with Professor Jan Willis, and that will be with the regional trustees, FPMT regional trustees. Going back to taking this to a kind of national conversation. We have chosen the successful candidates for the basic program Inclusivity Scholarship. And this is, I've fluffed up because I haven't got the names with me. Marco and Saida, do you remember the names off the top of your head? I know some of them. We've got Adam, we've got Tiziana, we've got Jonathan Cox. Have you got it in the chat? Good, thank you. Thanks for your assistance. Brilliant. We've also got a community assembly on exploring diversity, which is going to be later on in the year. You can find it on the events calendar. And this is just basically a way of engaging the community in the conversation, because we recognize that there are not going to be any quick fixes here. We have to try things, and we have to engage people in the conversation, and we have to experiment and see what works. But the idea behind it is we want to make Jamyang welcoming to people from all backgrounds, regardless of gender, presentation, sexual identity, or ethnicity. And then, yeah, working with Buddhists across the traditions to enact meaningful change. We're very early in we're in very early stages of that conversation. But, we're thinking about, actually building movements and protest movements, which will, allow Buddhist communities to speak in a unified voice in service of social justice. Yeah, so that is the diversity and inclusion section. Here we go. Good. Okay, so moving on to the education program. And this relates actually quite nicely to what Marco and Saida were talking about. We've been having some really interesting conversations, Geshe Namdak, Venerable Fabienne, and others have been having some really interesting conversations about the way that Buddhist teachings are presented. We had a SBC meeting not long after I became SBC, and Geshe Namdak raised this at the time, and I'm glad that in a few short months, the idea has gained traction and really started to take off. This is definitely, as Geshe Namdak was saying, this is definitely in line with His Holiness's aspiration to present the universal aspects of Buddhist knowledge to a wide audience. And he's very skillfully started to do this by creating a threefold division or a threefold categorization of Buddhist teachings. So there's a division of Buddhist science, there's a division of Buddhist philosophy, and there's a division of Buddhist religion. The science and the philosophy divisions are considered universal aspects which are by nature accessible to people who do not necessarily identify as Buddhist, but maybe come at these teachings from either a scientific or a secular standpoint. And our aspiration is to categorize our courses in line with this threefold division and create courses which are accessible to every level of student, whether you're a complete beginner or whether you are an advanced student. So the advanced courses would be things like basic program. The beginner courses, we've started to talk about building a curriculum of beginner courses for people who are just starting out. But the exciting thing is the intermediate level, actually, because Geshe Namdak, along with his colleagues, have been developing a bridge program. It's a brand new program for FPMT, and it will be situated, in level of advancement between discovering Buddhism and basic program. Hence why it's called the bridge program. It's a very clever name, actually. And Geshe Namdak, when he presented the outline for the bridge program to us, showed us how the subjects have actually been categorized along these lines. So there are universal aspects and there are Buddhist aspects. So, this is really, really exciting. I can tell you that we will be launching the bridge program in autumn 2021. Official dates to be confirmed, but we're really, really excited to share that with you. And just one other thing to say on the education program is that, going back to the learning platform that I demoed to you just now, we want to make sure that these courses are converted into home study courses so that those of you who do not have access to Jamyang physically because of either lockdown conditions or because you are international students, still can do the courses and have access to the materials and continue your learning. So that is the education program update. So next we have, the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was online education, because as Venerable Fabienne said, we've all had to move on to, you know, receiving teachings virtually. And it's quite a big transition to make, and we all know that it's not the same as being in the room physically together. But we wanted to get some feedback from you, just so that we could maybe improve things or change things, depending on whether you guys are feeling good about it. I know that some of you have already given feedback saying that you appreciate the fact that the teachings are available online now because you're international students. What I will invite you to do now is answer the first question, which is how will you describe your experience of online learning with Jamyang? And I will ask you to do that with just very quick one-word answers through the chat box. And we're going to get some, hopefully, live feedback on what you guys have been thinking about online learning. So let me just bring this up. Okay. Okay, so you can. That's a good start. Yeah. And feel free to use words that other people have used if they align with your sentiments as well. Okay, so very good has gotten a lot of hits. Fun, that's good to see. Any others? Have we finished? Oh, some more. Yeah. That's great, guys. That's great. I like carbon friendly. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So I think that's all of them now. Do you think? Okay. So this is a great feedback, guys. Thank you for that. And it's quite a mixture. We see that, and it's to be expected, really, because there are positives and there are negatives to this form of learning. It's really nice to see that a lot of you guys are enjoying the online learning, but there are a few little things there which I totally expected, to be honest. You know, a feeling of separation. We don't get to come together physically, and that's a little bit more isolating, challenging, exhausting. And Venerable Fabienne was talking about this at the moment. You know, we're all zoomed out. there's so much screen time, and especially a lot of us use our computers for our work as well. So we spend all day looking at our computer, and then we log on to a teaching, and then we're still looking at the computer. Yeah. That's great, guys. Thank you. And so zoomed out. Yes, some of us are zoomed out. I think I'm zoomed out as well. Accessible, that's got a lot of traction as well. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That's really great. So, oh gosh, it's still going. So we can stop. We can probably stop with the word cloud, which is what it's called. I see someone there just says makes the impossible possible. Someone says not as spiritual. Rona says needs new classes. So now, based on that feedback, guys, I just want to invite you to mention in the chat box some things that you think that we could do, or some suggestions to improve the experience of online learning, addressing some of those points about it being challenging, exhausting, limiting. You know, obviously the format has its limitations, but if we get some feedback from you guys, then we can start thinking about this going forward. So I will invite you to just mention some things in the chat box now, and we will keep a record of your answers, and we will use that when we start, you know, thinking about the online learning for the future. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Where's the chat box? Okay, technical issues, trouble with the sound from Jamyang sometimes. Need more practice. Yeah, shorter sessions because it's harder to, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a forum or a chat room with the online learning platform for each course of any length. Thank you, Mike. That's great. We are definitely thinking about integrating a messaging platform onto the online learning platform so that people can connect with each other. That's great. Putting people into discussion groups. Fantastic. These are great suggestions, guys. Thank you. Really good. Really, really good. Breakout rooms. Yeah. Okay, so discussion rooms have got a lot of popularity then. That's really good. Okay, so I'll let you have a few more minutes to just add your suggestions into the chat box. But that is about it from me. So thank you very much for bearing with me. I've taken up a lot of your time. We're nearly at 8 o'clock. But I hope that you have found it useful and helpful to hear all of these things. Thank you so much for coming together. And yeah, I will hand back to Venerable Fabienne. Thank you, Venerable Fabienne. Thank you, everybody. Oh, wait, no, one more thing. One more thing. I forgot. I was supposed to do this for Robin's motivation at the beginning, and we kept on seeing it flash up, but I wanted to share because he found an old picture of the courtyard of the Old Courthouse, and it looks so different now. But that was when he went to go and see it with Geshe-la, with Lama Zopa for the first time, and now you'll see that it's just full of flowers out front, and it's not boarded up. So over 25 years, it's been quite a transformation. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kamlo. I think all of you now understand why I really wanted team members to present to you directly what they're working on. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. We want to thank you for your patience, because despite our best plans, we've run over by half an hour, and we're just talking about how Zoom sessions shouldn't be more than 45 minutes. So we'll endeavor to do better next time. But so we will follow up with an email to all of you, and with questions. We'd love to hear about whether these community sessions are a good way for us to get together, and if they are, how can we improve on the format? So maybe we get together on a quarterly basis. It's really all open. And so as a close, just so that we hear people's voices, if you would like to share some thoughts, say goodbye, just go ahead and unmute yourself and just maybe share a few words. And if you need to leave, please, of course, go ahead. But from all of us here at the Old Courthouse and beyond, the whole team, we want to really thank you for making the time and for connecting together online. And as I said, if you want to chat, do you have the power to unmute yourself? Let me see. Yes. So if you would like to unmute yourself, I think now. Yeah.
Huge thanks for your amazing work. Thank you so much, all of the team.
Thank you.
Wil je zeggen dankjewel? Wil je zeggen?
Ja, thank you very much. Nee, zeg maar Nederlands. Ja.
Thank you very much.
Let's dedicate to success.
Thanks so much.
Very much, really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you again.
Dankjewel in het Nederlands.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Die zwaaide. Wacht even. We zijn er niet op. Hij is on mute. Hé, wat is dit nou? Ik weet het niet.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you later. On Zoom.
Jan, superbe.
Super inspiring. Really.
Wat doe je? We zijn er niet op. Nee, die zijn even kijken. Hier. Hier. Ja, here we are. Dankjewel. Thank you so much. We have been in the center with you all. Thank you so much, and I hope we can continue like this. I feel very, very happy and enjoyed this evening together with my big friend. And it's super that there is someone who speaks Dutch, so she can follow more often. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Namaste. Okay. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.